For now, we're already underway with the pistol. You can see Endpoint on the T side, Vexed on the CT squad. Mezzy with that defuse kit has the smoke as well, but I think Robin must have used his nades earlier because he doesn't have Kevlar, doesn't have a pistol bought either.
Yeah, I'm not sure he used them in particular. He may have used them out to the Brown Horse control where Endpoint are currently going. And Mezzy here with the USP is the man to try and defend it. Out at connector, he's alongside Cray. Here they go, quick out of the gate. Mezzy tapping on through towards Rust. 1 HP left on him. Cray is going to play very carefully and very silently as well, expecting plays around that corner, spots out Cryptic. He's missing every single bullet. Finally shuts down one, looks in for the second as well, with Mezzy and Adam locking up some secondary kills. Pulse now, last man standing as Robin is dealt with, and it is a 1 versus 4 for him. Vexed, a very confident hold of the B-bomb site. That is what we like to see.
Pulse not going to be able to find too much as Mezzy splatters his brains on the box. Behind him, lands the headshot. They shut it down. Vexed now starting off strong on the pistol round. SMGs being brought up, 2 rifles. I'm expecting another SMG coming in for Mezzy, potentially a FAMAS, but there we go. The FAMAS does come through. This is generally their normal setup on this buy off the pistol rounds, is those 2 M4s, those 2 SMGs and the FAMAS, especially on that CT side, seems to be what they like to go for.
SMGs up close here. The Vex Gaming side, again, Link taking the brunt of the offensive. I'm quite surprised Mezzy's not going for that right now. He's actually playing back passive over at Connector. Link, regardless, however, the SMG can line up the kills, easy as that. USP missing out on Pulse, but he's got $1,800. And meanwhile, the distraction has allowed Robin just a tick away, a moment away from getting that bomb plant. That would have been fantastic as well for Endpoint. That would have been eco accomplished. Extra economical boost, obviously, when you get that bomb plant down. But not to be today for the T side. 2-0 Vexed, contending with the standard Endpoint eco round. Of course, $1,800 gained by the kill bonus on the part of Link. Because we can update to the M4, and the AKs can come out for Endpoint.
With Link losing that SMG, it means they do buy up into the M4, as you say.
Yeah.
Which gives them a little bit more strength against the rifles of Endpoint. They will have to invest a little bit more, but it was necessary. So at least you could blame it on that. But Endpoint now setting up a little bit more passively. This is what we talked about. Vex like to be aggressive on the CT side, and they are biding their time. Unfortunately, Eccles gets the best of them with a close push on the MP9.
Opening frag for Vex, nice and standard with the aggression. We talked about it a lot during the break. We talked about it a lot in the pre-game. Eccles will use that to great effect, taking out one of the AKs with just an SMG. Of course, that's massive value gain by dropping a rifle from the T side. Could potentially pick that up as well if he pushes up Ivy. And also, of course, $600 on the SMG kill, so that's even better for the Vex Gaming side. Endpoint going to try and respond by going towards that B bomb site. Pulse is making his way up. Craded spots him, and he's going to try and rotate around to the left-hand side of the bomb train, spot Jenko as well. Flashbang to try and support, and the CTs are on their way. But very little contention here from Vex. They will just concede the bomb site very quickly. The plant will go down, and backstabs coming in from Adam. We might have to try and deal with the likes of Cryptics. He's taking his time over in Pop Dog. Cray is watching out, trying to get someone over at the oil train. The timing's just not quite there for Vex. Then again, he faces away as Jenko faces up. Smokes in as they have to force the issue right about now. Indeed, Adam will take down Cryptics, the 5-on-3. Cray can't spot anybody. He finally spots out Pulse, who takes himself a secondary kill, but Link will deal with him on the trade. Robin, one good tap towards one more player. A second spray on a second man's not going to go well against Link, and therefore Vex will have the defuse, the 3rd on the board for the CT side.
They have the kits available. They can get it done. Vexed able to take 3. Endpoint, they might look to buy up into this next round. I wouldn't be too surprised if they get SMGs, but they might instead go for those pistols. You can see they're pausing it out, so they are deciding, trying to figure out what they do want to buy up. Do they invest in an SMG round, or do they just upgrade pistols and have that AWP potential into the next round? Because AWP's great at picking off aggressive CTs. If you see a sliver of them start to push through, you can just pop them off and see if you can find that opening then. Because as soon as, on trains especially, as soon as one of those CTs goes down, there are huge openings going to be appearing across the map. Looks like they are going to go for the pistols. The MAC-10 being brought up by Pulse to try and get a little bit more pressure on board. Vexed have Mezzy on the AWP now.
You can just about afford that with the SMG. If he gets anything out of this, and of course it will be a positive for Endpoint again. Rifle down, extra money bonus for the $600. No one without head Kevlar though for Vex, so he's not going to be as effective with the one-shot headshots. Of course, the MAC-10 can get one-shot headshot kills with armorless opponents, or with lacking in head Kevlar opponents. Vexed are not applicable in this case. Flashes, nades. Oh,
quite a bit.
Perfectly placed from Cray. He tried to get out of dodge for a moment there, and if he had stayed where he was, I think he may have actually been completely taken out by the nade where he was. Regardless, the hit will come through from the T side. The smoke's up, blocking off all the vision of the rotators and the players on the back of the bomb site. So once again, they can go for a plant. It's up to Jenko to see what damage he can do with the Eagle up close. A bit on Cray, and we force back, but Adam here with a reload, caught off guard, and Mezzi and Eccles, you get the trades together. Link follows up with a kill on Jenko, and Robin left alone in the 1 versus 3. So a couple of moments of fright there for Vexed in the connector area. But again, Endpoint, a pretty decent round with a couple kills going their way. If they can get another one here on the part of Robin, then that'd be fantastic with the bomb plant as well. And Cray shut them down with a headshot, and there you go. 4-0 currently for Vexed Gaming. That was the series scoreline, we'd be done by now.
I'm a really big fan of how Cray is playing this B-bomb site. You can see he's playing all the way back, allowing them to get the bomb plant in multiple circumstances, which is fair enough, because what he's able to do then is fade away, get the intel, drop down the ladder, move all the way over to the other bomb site before they can rotate out and get the angles on him, and that creates the split pressure because he knows his team is going to be rotating in from the side, from connector, potentially even all the way through CT, and he can just almost give the illusion of having 2 players on that B bomb site almost. So big fan of how that's going out. You can see he's moving forwards, moving back, and just taking up his position on the ladder at the back of the train. Yet again, Vexed over on the A site, playing a little bit more passively than they did before.
Not all watching out from T-Con though. No one's really watching Ivy. Turning a little bit for the Vexed Gaming side. I think Romezi can really adjust for it though. And see complete Ivy control instead again. They're going to try and go for this aggression. We talked about it again in the pre-game. How much they like to push up through T-Con, but they're leaving Ivy uncomfortably open. Again, Endpoint can just push up immediately and they would have control and access to the A and B bomb sites because there's no one else to defend even from the back of CT. You've only got Cray who can rotate away. And if he gets dealt with by Pulse, then, you know, Vex leaving a lot of gaps open is what I'm trying to say here. 60 seconds, and they have got a bit of aggression going. Adam pushed up very far, in towards T-Con. Smokes and Molotovs go down over towards Ivy as they do try and adjust against it. Adam's tempted to face. But Endpoint are committing to this Ivy control. Russ with flashbangs, AWP up close. Adam boosted up here to try and contest around the corner and watch on for anyone who might be coming in. Supporting his teammates on the main front of the offensive. Flashes over, Eccles evaded, spots that Robin, takes him down very quickly with a kill. Link with a secondary one as well on Cryptic. Jenko spotted out by Adam, he gets dealt with. And Pulse over in Pop Dog cannot support Ross in any way. He's got to get these AWP shots, it's not going to happen. Mezzi lands the wallbanger, and very confident stuff coming in from Vex very early on in this map here.
Endpoint yet to put a round on the board. Pretty low on cash as well. Vex Gaming, they are really stepping up here on this map. Phenomenal stuff coming through. You can see they're just a little bit annoyed about that last one, over on Nuke, that they, by all rights, should have won and fluffed up just that little bit. But looks like they're taking that out on this map. Indeed, 5 rounds will go on the board.
A timeout, a tactical timeout taken by Endpoint this time. And most appropriate as well. 5 rounds deep, you haven't scored a single one. It's like, well, something's very clearly got to change. They've got to get something at least on this T side, you know. Again, I'm imagining the Vex will have a very good time on their T side considering how aggressive they like to go. And Endpoint needs to find a way to try and break this offensive play, you know. Again, talking about how they use nades and how they're going to be trying to flush out positions that the CTs want to take. They've got to try and beat them back into submission. You've got to try and beat Vex back into the bomb sites rather than allow them to take easy control. And they had an opportunity there with the Ivy control. You know, if they actually smoked off the A1 entrance and went round towards the back of the bomb site and went over to the CT spawn into the B bomb site instead, they probably would have had an easier time dealing with whatever the CTs wanted to throw at them. They just took too much time. They weren't able to set up enough time to go all the way around the other side of the map. So round 6 will come up. The AKs will be in play for the Ts. The AWP, of course, for Mezzi, the only one in play for this round. And it's on the back of Vex. Let's see what they can do. It really plays out towards the brown tunnels for Endpoint.
Very aggressive in towards Pop Dog and actually playing up towards Ivy this time around. So they are changing up these positions in most tempos, but Link already managed to get the frag. They trade it back, however, over onto the player as they do breach onto the A bomb site. Standing in front of the AWP crosshairs, not too sure about that one. Adams are still on the bomb site, will be able to take down Cryptix as he pushes up towards the bomb train. Looks for a second, but he's not going to find it.
Grasswitch kill on Mezzi, 3 versus 2 as the bomb just about goes down. Cray trying to round the corner and see someone at Pop Dog, expecting Robin to be somewhere lurking in the smokes, but he can't seem to land anything. Bursting through, Eccles finally strikes on blue train, spots one more. The cross does not know the Pulse is also there as well. It will suppress Robin as he gets the frag. It's all left to Cray. Underperforming in the last map. He's got 5 kills so far in this one. Let's see if he can clutch it. A Molotov, 2 flashes. Pulse not spotted. Robin not spotted either. And Molotov's in, tapping that bomb, going to stick it They're going to peek. They're not peeking.
They're not peeking.
Endpoint eventually have Robin pushing forward, and he will be able to get the first on the board for the Endpoint side. So again, a couple of scary moments there for the T's. But Vexed.
They are going to have to reinvest on the T side, though. Only 2 players surviving means they're going to have to pop on the rest of the cash. A little bit of a DC there, so a technical pause coming on through.
Yep.
Or reconnect coming in anyway for one of the T side players. As I say, though, they will have to reinvest. They're sat around 3.5K, 4K as well. So they're going to have to buy up those rifles and diminish their economy a little bit more. Of course, coming back into it, 5-1. If they go down 6-1, that's going to be really bad for them because they're going to lose that loss bonus that they once had.
You know, obviously the economy game currently favouring the CT side at the moment. Obviously Vexed building up 5 rounds in a row. And Endpoint losing 3 players as well to get that round on the board means that there's going to be a severe lack of money coming into the buy-ups here. It's lucky they saved 2 rifles. It might give them a little bit of a crutch to stand on. But we'll see where the cards fall when the unpause comes through. Right now we can't see much of the economy basis. We are waiting for whatever player that is of Endpoint to reconnect to the server. Obviously, a couple of technical issues we've had over the course of today. But even so, the Endpoint right now, it's a valid excuse to take a pause, I'd say here, John. You don't want to play 5 versus 4 in the grand finals now, especially when you are 4 rounds down and down by 2 more maps as well.
Yeah.
You have to win this and then the following one in order to have even a chance.
Oh dear.
Wow.
But yeah, it looks like they are.
The
they're locking up. Looks like they're going to be jumping into the round relatively shortly. Everyone ready and attentive as we go into round number 7 between Vexed Gaming and Endpoint. If Vexed Gaming could get the reset here onto Endpoint, it would be super, super crucial. You can see the money really, really bad for them right now. But on the flip side, that's the same for Vexed Gaming. They're very low. This is the bottom of their coffer. They are scraping right now together pennies to try and find anything they can. 2 defuse kits there. They're saved on the head armor across the board. And that might come into play because Janko's got that Mac 10.
That's a lot of damage. You could dish out to Cray, Eccles, and Adam again. Mac 10 set up for easy kills on Jenko if he can just insert himself a little bit closer to the CT line. They are playing pretty far back, passive away from the pop dog area where Jenko is trying to hold in from. No pop dog control from Vex. They're going to smoke up and try and recontest it in the likes of Adam. And Endpoint, pretty passive. Now they're starting to rotate that bomb into the brown halls, but they've only got 1 player defending it. Mezzy with that AWP will try and push in and make it 2 players there and take contact over towards the ramp position as Cray just plays off the bomb site. So, 50 seconds on the clock. Endpoint love running this timer low when it comes to their T-side executions. And now is the time for one of those executions to come in. But again, they found a gap in the fence. Look at where Russ is right now. Push back over at Ivy. He's going to wait for Endpoint to make their way to the bomb site. If they can do this right now, it'll be great as Mezzy's forced off angle. Gray still gets 1 and a second. Mezzy is able to respond as well. Pulse will try and contest. Might get his bomb down as his teammate in the flank is going to go falling. Great hold from Cray. 2K to his name. And a much better performance in the early game compared to where he was on Nuke.
And a tricky buy coming in for Endpoint now. I'm expecting to see those upgraded pistols come in again. That was the decision they made last time, remember. Jenko yet to come on the board with a kill in the first 8 rounds so far. Needs to try and figure it out, try and get a little bit more power moving through. Although, to be fair, they have only won 1 round, so they were getting shut down quite a lot.
Yep. And again, it's all down to that Vexed aggression. I think he's giving him a bit more of a pep talk, talking about how they like to play those off angles. And Endpoint, again, just not being attentive enough. If they check the bomb site, if they check the bomb train, then maybe they would have been able to win that round. Maybe they would have been able to shut down Cray and, set up the plant itself. They rushed forward expecting CTs to be all in passive.
As they load up again, though, they're going to be looking to take the fight once more. Vexed Gaming, 6-1. The most dominant scoreline we've seen in this series so far of the 3 maps, but a fast move towards the B back tunnels for Endpoint, over towards above Pop Dog as well, but it looks like it might be B. Cray's actually playing pretty close. He will have heard those steps coming on through, so they'll have an inkling, and you can see they're sort of positioning, ready to rotate if the need arises.
Flash is over. Here comes the hit. Jenko going to lead that charge. 1 CT in the back lines. That's Cray. Will spot out Pulse. Burst on through to take him down. The bomb plant should be secured here by Endpoint. For Vex, it's all about the retake. Cray moves forward as Link deals with Jenko. And Russ also falls to the hands of Eccles. Robin going to try and go in for the backside. Cryptids gets one kill, almost a dink down on the second, and at this point, the defuse should come through. Robin just best to save his Kevlar. Should not be able to contest this. Might get an exit frag, but no one around the CT spawn, therefore the defuse can just get stuck. Eccles not even going to bother trying to face him back again, so 7-1 here. This was football, that would be a meme.
That was 7-2.
No.
Was it 7-1? Oh, I don't remember. Was
Did
it?
you not watch the World Cup? Jeez.
No, I didn't, actually.
Wow. I can't believe you, John.
It's almost
I
like...
can't believe you didn't.
It's almost like I pay attention to esports. But the economy there with the plant is going to be pretty strong coming through for Endpoint. And able to buy up fully into this round. Getting that plant, as I say, super crucial. Vexed Gaming, similar situation though. So it's going to be a full rifle round this time. Although Cray opting not to buy a defuse kit. Just sticking on to a little bit more cash. Wants to stay up there, but Endpoint, so it's really on them to find the openings. They haven't been able to do so. A site, they've had a little bit more luck in terms of actually breaching. B bomb site, they get kind of given and then just retaken off very, very quickly despite getting the plant. So they might look to go towards this A side, and you can see they're doing just that. Adam, though, he's pushing up fast.
Cray burned alive with 45 HP. Eccles down. Link still gets 2 headshots, though. Nice defensive from him on the bomb train as Cray moves in, and Adam finally gets his back up. They're going to get 2
Adam.
kills. Cryptix tries to trade, but he's alone with 10 HP. An ace clutch to try and get it together for Endpoint, and Cray will just wrap in the backhand side, deal with him, deal with the 8th for Vexed, and they are looking just as confident as they started with series with here, John. How do you break it if you're Endpoint? This is like the worst situation they've been in across the entire grand final so far.
Absolutely. Only 1 round on the board in the first 10 is not what you want to see. A Galil now over into the hands of Russ. Very low on money yet again. Seems to be the storyline for Endpoint. They've had their chances, but they are just getting shut out time and time again as they go fast onto the A this time. A little bit of a change-up.
Changing the pace, trying to catch Vexed off guard, but they're not going to get so successful with it. Link with 2 kills, almost turning on with a 3rd. Pulse will trade it as the AWP gets boosted up here at the ticket booth. Mezzy, close range against Russ, will spot him, but can't get the quick scope against him. 2 players in connector, 1 more over from Ivy. The bomb should be secured here by Endpoint. Not open, Cray spotted, but he still gets that frag. It's Pulse alone. 1 versus 3. Again to clutch this. He will get himself a 2nd kill in the round. Got a peek in with the 3rd, spotting out by the AWP. And now hiding back once again. Try and play passive against the Vexed Gaming side. Actually, am I going for a flank? I think he's got time for this one again. The bomb's not planted for him. He's got to try and get a little bit of vision onto this site. Spotted out onto the red train, sprays Mannequin. It's not going to go well for him. Eccles another kill. Vexed with another round. And Endpoint, again, it just gets worse and worse for them. But that's where they have been forged in fire here, John. They were able to bring the comeback on Nuke. But this is a bit of a far gone scoreline. Yeah, this is a much taller order than where we stood at Nuke. They're going to use their 3rd tactical timeout. 3 in 1 half. They really are struggling to figure out the formula here.
Well, I mean, yeah, quite obviously. I mean, they are just not able to shut it down. They changed it there. I liked that. I liked that they went aggressive and changed up the tempo because it seems to me that that is really where Vexed are just getting the better of them time and time again. They're just controlling the tempo of these of these rounds. They're allowing people to push when they want them to push, when they're ready for them. Endpoint, they need to beat them back into submission, as we said before, but it's just so difficult. A site is so difficult to get your utility onto without giving the game away and without allowing them to reposition. If they're going to be aggressive, it's so hard to displace them if they're pushed up on A, and the Ivy flanks are just not coming through. We've seen time and time again that Endpoint have snuck a player behind, but it's just not come to fruition, unfortunately, for them. So they're going to have to try and find a little bit more of an opening. They're pushing up towards the B back tunnels as well, but they slowed down once more.
Pulse pushing up here with the AK in tow. It's Adam. M4 up in heaven. Backed up by Cray. And they're going to go towards the heaven position as well. This could be a crossfire that's deadly as anything. Cray is going to play that contact, get that 1st headshot, hopefully spray on towards the secondary kill. And Adam will have to try and pick up the pieces. The smoke's up. Here comes the execute. Adam goes aggressive and doesn't land any of his bullets. Cray's got a call for backup now as he's so close against Russ. Walls catch him off guard, take the headshot back to the 4 versus 4. But site access gained by the T side. Jenko trades back, loses a lot of HP for his trouble. The nades on target might be able to deal with him indeed. Nice. Eccles slams dunks his way back to 3 versus 3 as the bomb goes down on default. Pulse here with the smokes. Flashbangs also at the helm. 2 players held back over at ramp, and Vex slowly make their moves in. They've got the fuse kits, so they've got time. And Echo spots Pulse, sprays Manic. It doesn't get the frag. Waiting for back to arrive around the corner. Here comes Robin. 2 kills to his name, and Pulse ends up with Echoes as well. Nicely done from Endpoint. Finally, a second round on that T-side board, but it's taken a very long time to get there, John.
Crucial part of that round, Adam pushing through the smoke and painting terrorist-shaped holes in the wall behind them. Not able to get a single point of damage onto anyone, and just going down, allowing a huge opening. Cray left high and dry on that B bomb site, and the rotate from Vexed actually was pretty slow in my mind. Like, they saw the push come through, they knew the numbers very, very quickly, but it was only after Cray had gone down that the rotate came through from Connector, so maybe a little bit of an unexpected play there coming out from Endpoint, but Cray's pushed up. This is pretty unexpected for himself, but Pulse finally able to turn it around, get him down, but not without sacrificing most of his HP.
Right on Link, he's actually going to spray through the pop dog area and get out of dodge with 60 points of health. That's a trade back and damage being done to Pulse as well. If Adam was to peek and get this kill, he could be up for 2 against Genko. Pulse first contact, Pulse first dead. Genko will face back around for the headshot all the same. So we stand at evens once again. Endpoint so good at getting these trades lately. Flashbang's over, Mezzi's watching in, no one's watching ramp though. Molotov's out. Eccles will get down Cryptics at the very least. The bomb will be dropped. The plant will be stalled for a couple of seconds here. Russ watching onto his position. Can't see the headshot. Will tap on through. Just about catches him off guard. Now it all rests on Mezzi and Link, both coming in from Connector. Mezzi spots him. Genko trades back 1 versus 1 with the AWP, spotting him and taking his sweet time, knowing exactly how much time he has to work with. Vexed connect yet another. Double digits in just 12 rounds. Endpoint. You thought for a second maybe they could build up the momentum, but just every single time, something stands in their way on the Vex side.
SMGs going to be brought up across the board. They're pretty low on money, despite being 10-2 in the half. It just goes to show that these rounds are actually going pretty close, but every time it's just Vex finding the edge and getting those frags when it counts. Endpoint, never lucky rubber ducky. Never find the win on the round. They do have the Mach 10 for Pulse, but a lot of head armor is there. It's going to shut it out no matter what, though. Adam falls.
Nice kill with a Mach 10 at the very least. Link turns it around, gets 2 of his own in response. Nice and easy there. Genko and Robin going in 1 by 1. You can't take Pop Dog like that. And again, Vex should end up with another man advantage. Endpoint, well, you want to take 1 kill, we'll take 2 right back in trade. It doesn't matter to us. We are happy with the way that we are performing right now. And they just rotate back to their standard positions. Endpoint having to rethink their entire setup right here. The bomb.
Only a minute.
Yeah, only a minute going back over to the T spawn. Setting up a entry from Ivy. And where do they go from here? Do they go back to the B site? Do they go to the T-con? They're going to split up and try and split into the A bomb site, perhaps. Pop Dog, T-con, and Ivy attack. Ivy controlling the part of Rust. The AWP's got to get that opening pick, though, somewhere.
Very slow for Endpoint at this stage. Losing those 2 into Pop Dog. Is he really going to do it again?
Oh, my God.
I mean, I have no words for that. They just did the same thing 3 times in a row. 3 people died in exactly the same way. They deserve to lose that round. I mean, come on. What am I supposed to say? It's not. You can't be doing that. You can't be doing that. The 4th tactical pause comes on out. Vexed are on 11 rounds to 2.
I've just got nothing else to add to that. Like, that was just
poor.
Poor. Very, very poor there. No flash support. No extra pinch. No 2-pronged attack. Just peek and die. In short. I'm speechless. I'm struggling with that one as well, dude. Like, the scoreline is so disparaging right now for Endpoint, and again, it just gets worse and worse. They're on their 4th tactical pause. You only get 4 tactical pauses over the course of an entire map, and they've used them all in the first half.
They haven't used their miracle run, though.
Not yet, no, of course. Haven't seen that coming out of Endpoint just yet in this series. They have got rifles to try and kick that off here in round 14. They're going to need a couple more rounds at least. 11-4 is still workable at the turn of the half. But Adam shuts down the first of Rust. They make their way quickly out of Pop Dog. Adam with a second. Cryptics trades. Eccles will also fall in same. And Mezzi with the AWP. A tight angle to hit, but they have to cross to get this bomb to the A bomb site.
That's how you take Pop Dog.
It buys a little bit of time for Cray and Link to rotate up from A to Smokes in, should cut off Mezzi finally. Blind shot's not going to land. The nades and flashbangs at the ready, but Link makes his way to the bomb site. The bomb plant should be secured. A 3 versus 3 retake with 2 orbs for Vexed.
They pushed on out of A main, drew attention, and this time they could take Pop Dog. The bomb does get planted, but Link's still on the bomb train. We'll find one onto Pulse. Cryptix and Robin now looking to rotate around and hold this post-plant position. A nice frag over onto Cray is going to bring it into a 2 versus 2. But Cryptix now left high and dry alone, finds one. Mezzi with the AWP looking for the shot. He knows exactly where he is. Tries to push on up. He's got the M4 now in his hand.
Oh
the corner.
My word.
But it's Mezzi to close out the half, and Vexed Gaming, they go 12-2. So dominant right now.
That's such a shame as well, because it felt like finally Cryptix was going to clutch something there for the Endpoint side, but Mezzi knew exactly what to do. Recognized that M4, picked it up, right, I can challenge you around this corner, and he won out the fight. Very well done from Mezzi. I can't deny that much. I mean, Endpoint had a nice solid strategy getting into the bomb site right there, kept the trades going, but they just haven't been able to gain a man advantage over the course of these rounds. Very rarely have we seen that out from Endpoint. And Vexed, happy to exploit here. 12-2 with AKs, Kriegs, AWPs, M4s, the works coming out for both sides. Adam up, Robin taking out Eccles, kicking things off for Endpoint. Finally, there you go, an opening frag with a bit of aggression coming into the A bomb site. Russ jumps down over to ramp, clears out some positions, recognizing there's no CTs here. Rotation in, he gets the headshot on Gray. That's more like it, Endpoint. This is what we need to see. 4 versus 2 as Mezzi does get one trade. The bomb can go down the B bomb site, and Vex with a virtually impossible retake up here in the last round of the half.
This is exactly what we need to see from Endpoint. But it's too late. It's still 12-3. On the half. That is devastating as a scoreline. 20 frags for the top fragger. 11 for the rest of them on the team. But 3 rounds. That's going to give them maybe some respite if they lose the pistol, but nothing more than that. Well,
at least motivations are high in the Vex camp. Hearing them over there having a nice old time. Imi's trying to get them hyped up over on Endpoint, but personally I'd be completely broken if they were in this scenario right now. A lot of work to be done. 12-3. It's not the most impossible scoreline to overcome. I have seen worse. I have seen actually a 15-0 comeback, so let's see if Endpoint can try and pull off the miracles. It's over the CT side, stacking up over towards Ivy. Robin's going to try and contest them as they make their way out here. It's all to Russ. He's not watching the right-hand side of the white train as he gets down 1 kill. Looks back in over towards Heaven, dropping that bomb in for a bit more. Cray will be able to deal with him. Back to 4 versus 4 will go. Eccles gets a kill on Jenko. Pulse goes falling to Link, and it's all falling to pieces for Endpoint, but Robin still contests. 1 frag to his name. Eccles going in for a flank. Cryptix has absolutely no idea this is coming, but checks out Connector as the bomb does go down.
they get the plant. 2 CTs on the retake. They have got the kit available for Cryptix as well, and the smoke is there. So they do have a little bit of pressure. They want to move forwards and see just what they can get. The smoke off from ramp actually allows Endpoint to push on up. They have a smoke so they can cover off this bomb. Cryptix gonna drop it down, has got the kit, goes for the face, drops the kit near the bomb, and Mezzi closes it down. Vexed Gaming 13-3.
A bit of mispositioning there. Should have waited for the smoke to bloom, I think. Would have been nice, actually, if he got that bomb, got that defuse kit, excuse me, out towards the other side of the train instead, so that way they could have snuck in against the ramp position. I guess they didn't really know which side Vex were going to peek from. They could have peeked from Heaven and ramp, so it's virtually an impossible situation to win. But I think it could have been, the chances could have been increased if they waited for that smoke to bloom rather than give up the information immediately.
Bought a Zeus.
Yeah, not the first time we've seen this come out of Endpoint. His manager is going to play close, yeah, at Pop Dog. He's going to try and steal one of those rifles array. I mean, it is a one-shot kill weapon regardless. Nades in. Oh, Molotov. I think he's just about going to be able to stay alive, but yeah, no contention from Vex. He really is just looking to take a rifle away and try and save that into the next round for Endpoint. Oh, well.
Looking pretty dire though. Still, Cray lands the headshot onto Jenko as they push in along the Ivy position. Dominant across the map right now. They have got position. You can see as well Adam with that Mac-10, which will be devastating against these unarmored opponents.
Yep.
Rotating all the way through connector. He's going to hear these steps coming through, immediately just takes them down. Eccles finds one as well. They spot him out, and they're just sweeping him under the rug right now. Endpoint looking to go down 14-3. Vexed are on match point. They need one more round to put them on to tournament point in this map. Same.
It's stressful. It's stressful for an Endpoint fan, man. You know, just ripped apart on the eco. Now this is your last stand. This is truly the last stand. They lose this, they're basically done. There's no money to fall back on. It will be map, match, and tournament point for Vexed. And then from there, Endpoint will need a miracle 12-round comeback to get to overtime. Nice nades coming in from Vexed to do damage to Pulse and Rush. A nice start initially from Endpoint, but just, again, even better response from Vexed. So every single thing they can do, they can literally do better. Vexed are untouchable at this stage in the tournament. They play out towards the Brown Halls once again to try to set up for the B-bomb site.
Slow it down a little bit through Popdog, throwing some utility in, but it looks like they're going to focus towards that B-bomb site. You see Cryptics just playing on this ladder for Endpoint, trying to spot out any sort of information that he can gather as they mount up. Remember, Cray still on that flank over towards the Ivy position. If he can sneak around towards CT, this is going to really make Endpoint struggle for this. The nades come in, the executor's there for Vexed.
There we go. Cryptics 2 kills, holding it down for the Underground and holding it down for Endpoint. Pulse gets a kill on Cray, and 2 players remain for Vexed. A good defense finally posted up by the CT side. A must-win round, and they just won it, John. Now within 10 of the Vexed gaming lead. It's still a hell of a comeback, but at least it's a start.
Every journey starts with but a single step. We've got to move on forwards. Endpoint picking up their feet, taking it step by step indeed. But Vexed, so dominant. As you said before, it's so hard in the face of this scoreline to keep your cool, to stay motivated, to still push on forwards.
Quick utility out from Vexed here towards the A bomb site. Are they going to go for the A execution quickly here? T-Con control kind of stalled out here by the Molotovs coming in from Endpoint. I think Link's waiting for a flashbang to support him into the site though. Counter smokes back from the CTs as Link wants to face so bad. Cray instead will take first contact as Pulse round the corner, spotting 2 and falling back away as Russ is first casualty. Endpoint need to come up with some kills. Jenko will respond onto Mezzy and Pulse trying to wait and bait at the edge of a smoke. Robbing gets himself 2 frags as Jenko comes in with the last on Cray. It's all after Eccles in a 1-on-4. And Endpoint, there you go. Good defensive held out, reading where Vex we're going to play out a T-Con. Pulse will lose a lot of HP. Eccles trying to find something out here against one of the CT players where I think his days are numbered. And indeed they are in this round. Endpoint on 5th on the CT board, and Vex should be broken as a result here. The economy isn't quite leading up to the C side favor, so we should be seeing another one come out from Endpoint with any luck, I think.
Hopefully. They'll be looking to try and put, as well, as we know, they need to put pretty much every single round on the board that they can. Vex Gaming, you can see they haven't bought anything at all. Full eco coming out. We'll see where they opt to go. At the moment, they're stacking up towards what looks to be an A side take with a Popdog drop down, but maybe they're just spreading out, looking for any pick they can get. A lot of damage actually sent on towards Russ. As he peeks for the M4, has to fall back to the B bomb site. But the A take is potentially coming in as the Molotov burns down, Mezzy falls.
Pulse for that kill, turning on for a bit more on part of Robin. It's Pulse then actually going to continue to aggress here over at the electric box, dropping that bomb, getting himself another kill with a 3K on Link. And yeah, easy clean up there for the Endpoint side. Now Vex will have their rifles. Krieg's in on 4. Okay, they are not sparing any expense in the firepower department. Lacking in utility again. We saw a couple of executions come out, which is where Vex were able to hold their own, and Cray does end up with a double flash smoke with the AK, sacrificing the scope for headshots, and sacrificing for the utility as well for the T side here. So, where are they going to play here? Fast, slow, default, execute. Initial just 2-1-2 split to go Ivy, Brown Halls, and T-Con, but no T-Con control, it seems, for Vex at the moment.
Someone playing up close and popped up yet again, and Russ finds the first pick onto Eccles. Cray's turning the corner though, trying to go for the trade. He jumps up just at the wrong time, and Jenko able to land the headshot.
Adam traded back by Cryptics. There's a lot of damage. There's loads of damage under the CTs as a whole. Link's got to get this kill though, and he's not looking the right way. Too twitchy, Vexed. It looks like Endpoint will cinch a 7th. Nice aggression, kind of using Vex's own strategies against them, basically. Mezzy. Domin is back in, rest down by the CT forces. Will get Russ through trouble, but now there's one more player behind him. Will Robin? Oh, Robin. Robin, what are you doing, man? Robin, please. Robin, okay.
There we go.
I thought he was going to keep creeping around for the knife for the next 10 seconds or so, just like, please.
There we go. Oh, Vex actually using
there you go. All right.
tactical timeout.
All right,
first one.
First one in the map. First one in the map. And remember,
to be fair, they've been given 4 already, so
well, remember,
need to take
right? Vexed, when they took a tactical timeout on Overpass, that's when they were finally able to push past that final hurdle and get control of the first map above the likes of Endpoint. So this will be their chance to finally turn things around and finally put the put the stopgap in for this series and for this tournament today. So a lot riding on this one. I think it's a good move at this stage. I like the idea of the tactical pause. Obviously, they've got 4, so they've got plenty to work with. Plenty of time to take a moment of breather, shut down the momentum of Endpoint, and try and look towards your own victory. Again, Vexed only 2 rounds away. They will go for the eco in this one. Buy down to 2k, 1.5k in the case of Link. Deagles, P250, CZs, basic pistols up against the rifles. This should be another Endpoint round, but Vexed is all about building into the next rifle.
Fast towards Ivy. They're running through the fire. Jenko to take the face. As the full 5 roll on out, but Pulse turns the corner, finds 3 already on the spray. The 4th is there. Adams turn it around for 1, but that's it. 8 rounds now for Endpoint. They managed to pick it up. 5 on the trot, or 6 on the trot. No, it was 5 on the trot coming in. But at the end of the previous half as well, they were able to get a couple in. So really nice performance coming out to try and start this comeback. But as I said before, there is still a long way to go. They are still so far behind, and Vexed Gaming, they get their rifle round.
Now, yeah, that becomes a big challenge right now. Vexed straight up and out. Look at how far Adams pushed up. I'm not even sure if Endpoint are aware of this position. Jenko will check out all upper area, but Adams happy to sit behind the blue train and wait. As the CTs get ready. Try and defend against him here. I think Russ is checking out that position. Oh, nice Molotov down. That will force Adam to use a bit of utility, give up his position, try and flash his way back out. And actually, Robin with a blind spray catches him in the back of the head. That's a nice opening kill again for Endpoint. No bomb commitment just yet, relying a lot on that aggression to get himself a kill. And Adam going down early. A lot of that setup has been negated for Vex as a result. Endpoint happy to sit their standard positions in a 5-on-4 scenario. Just wait for the execution to come in whenever it does.
Not lucky with the spray there, Link. Unfortunately, no one playing up close to receive those shots. He's just trying to scout out the pop dog position. 4v5 now. Mezzi scouting out B with the AWP. There's a player playing up close, a player playing in the middle of sight as well. Looks like they do want to start to rotate around. They've heard those shots over towards pop dog, so they know those brown holes are occupied. And the push looks to come through from ramp. Again, Cray is in the sideline, so watch out for that. But Robin's holding a really tight little angle there.
Nice response with the HE. I think a Molotov as well, burning down Link to just 9 points of health. Regardless, it's going to cause Vex to change up the game plan, go through Pop Dog. It's Jenko here, supported by Pulse with the AUG, spotting out a small pixel on Mezzi, but I don't think it was enough to take the shot. Now they line up for Jenko. He only gets the 1 kill. Eccles can trade it. As Pulse takes out Mezzi, Eccles ends up with a double kill. 3 versus 2 scenario. Endpoint man advantage for the retake as the AWP locks out. No, actually misses the shot on Cray as Eccles finally goes falling. It's all left to Cray once again to clutch this 1 versus 3 scenario. Spotting out Cryptic, spraying him down. Looking back in for Robin. The 1v1 peaks were dangerous from Endpoint, but they do end up with the kill. 9 on the board for the CT side, and that will be 6 on the trot this time here, John. Only 5 separating them and Vexed Gaming. And the comeback, well, we've seen it happen once before. Let's see if it happens again.
I was not expecting this.
No, neither was I.
Very, very...
After that first half, I absolutely thought that this was done. I thought this was over, but yeah, it's not. It's very, very far from over very clearly as Endpoint with a bit of fight left in them. Up against the full rifles once again from both sides. AWPs in for Russ. Scope weapons across the board. Very quick utility setup from Vex Gaming, however.
They drop it over towards the A-bomb site. Russ up close and personal with the AWP, but Vexed over the top just a little bit. They might opt to go for that pop dog rotation as they did before. Eccles takes a lot of damage from the burn from a Molotov, but you can see they're setting it up now. They're waiting for the push to come through on that B bomb site. Cryptic's just ready in the wings, and they go for it. They push on out over the top. They drop down, and immediately they have control of the site. The retake needs to come through. Eccles gets taken down on the flank.
Robin spots out 2 more, bursts on through and takes out Cray and Adam. 1 HP for Mezzi. And it looks like Endpoint are going to claim another round. He will get 1 kill. It's all left to Link to clutch on the 1 versus 3 this time. 2 low HP CTs in Cryptics and Robin. As they face up, he will try and secure the bomb plant on the train itself. Very rare you see this bomb plant position, but let's see what Link can do with it. Cryptics creeping up to the right-hand side of the oil train. Flashbangs in, catching him only to the right-hand side, so it's not a full flash, and Cryptics can take him down. The defuse will come through. Another great retake, another great defensive for Endpoint. There are many more tacticals for Vex to be using at this stage. This is the point where they probably want to take another one. What will they opt to do here? There it is. Second time out for the T side.
Not too much money, but they should be able to buy up rifles if they so choose into this round. Again, they're going to be on max loss bonus, so they should be okay in terms of that economy. But Endpoint, they're turning up. They're starting to put the pressure on, and quite frankly, this is a team that we just didn't see in the first half. Coming out swinging and doing it well. They've yet to drop around here. Starting
to look really good, actually. I'm actually getting excited for how this is all going to play out here, John. I mean, again, we are within 4 rounds of that comeback for Endpoint, and we wrote this off pretty early on.
Yeah.
This would be something else, dude. Imi's doing some work back there. His motivational speeches very clearly are giving Endpoint the breath of life they need. Like he's hyped right now. He's clapping, he's cheering, giving them all the pointers they need to get right now on the Endpoint side to try and bring them within victory here.
He's helping them pop off.
Yeah, pop off and pop dog. That's where Vexed are going to go early on in this one as Russ is forced out of the brown halls here. Almost falling off the edge of that. Don't want to jump off that. That does a little bit of damage to you. Mezzi taking the brunt of the early damage here from the Endpoint utility setup. Cryptics, Molotov also at the ready. Watching out upper in case Vexed want to go here. And they're going to set up early into the brown halls. Looking like it might be a fast B here out of the upper position. And Cryptics is ready for the off-angle plays. Here they come. Russ with the AWP in the back of the side. But Cryptics lines up too. Trades back. AWP trying to look for someone on the right-hand side of the smoke. But no one is there for Vexed. 2-for-1 trade. The bomb can make it onto the B-bomb site. A flank coming in from Echoes as well. It's Endpoint once again in retake mode.
Finally, a flank that doesn't get shut down early will be in position. The bomb getting planted now. Eccles on the back line. This is going to be a huge spanner in the works. He needs to try and bide his time. Endpoint yet to push up. This means he can strike really, really deadly. Spots 1, biding his time. Trigger discipline coming through. The spray is out. They trade it.
Done.
Gets 2, but they have control of the bomb. They might just try and stick the defuse. The smoke, was it timed out? There's the Molotov on top of it. Will it burn it away? Will they be able to get it in time?
Oh.
Not quite there. Endpoint able to take it down. 11 rounds now on the board. They continue their streak.
It was a nice effort from Eccles there. Almost kept things together for the flank, but the main Vexed force fell down. If Cray and Mezzi had stayed alive, then Eccles would have been the hero of the round for Vexed, but by the time the backstab came in, he was the last man left standing. Endpoint finally forced the issue, and he had to bide his time, but he had to also be quick about it. Unfortunately, you can't be those two things at once. And Vexed once again go aggressive. Adam flashed out Molotov the way, nades into his position. He's going to try and get this opening kill as Endpoint again put the utility stacks on towards that T-con area. Trying to get aggressive. He's holding a very awkward angle on this ladder. Of course, the spray be completely skewered here. The incendiaries come out. Russ creeping up. The AWP spotted. The spray's manic, and the trade is good from Pulse. There you go. The AWP will fall, but they keep it at 4 versus 4.
Should have been able to close that kill down earlier. Might have been in with a chance of taking that second phase, but Vexed, they're still 1-for-1 on the trades. Ivy mounting up. This is something we haven't really seen from them so far. This is the A1 entrance smoke that you talked about before that Endpoint didn't go for, and it allows them to go around, get that pick off onto Pulse. Link now operating from Pop Dog. Is that sideline threat? A site all but taken. The retake is mounting up, but you've got Jenko still holding on the site. They need to push through it.
Spotted now, taken out by Eccles, and that's just not good. Endpoint at a 2-man disadvantage for this retake. Got plenty of cash, but Cryptics comes in from the backlines, deals with Eccles. One more kill with the favor of the CT forces. Can't contest the bomb plant. Robin will try spray blind, but he's not planted for the right position. Cryptics are spotted out by Mezzi. One good headshot, and Robin, I think, from this stage will throw in the towel. Vexed finally at map and match point here, and tournament point for the grand finals. One more round will do it for them, but Endpoint's comeback is still in full swing. They've still got the momentum to their favor. They just need to get another round. They'll shut down Vex Gaming's economy. If Robin gets an exit frag as well, that'll be even more crucial to the money line being decimated for the T side.
They get the push in. The bomb, of course, will go up, but is this the end of the run for Endpoint? Is this it? Or will they have one last hurrah? Will they be able to push it into overtime? Have to wait and see. It's this next round so important. Every round after it as well, if it does go the way of Endpoint. They have plenty of money. They've got so much to play with. They'll be pretty happy with that one, but the full buy coming out from Vexed as well is going to be there, so it's going to be back and forth.
Potentially our last round of the Insomnia Masters here. Molotovs in, nades up, smokes out Russ. trying to keep them up here.
The Ivy threat from Vex last round worked out very, very well.
Yes.
This is why Russ is positioning far forward. If he can get the pick off, he misses the shot. That's disastrous. The nades can start to come on through from Vex. They can put a Molotov in there. The nade down on the pulse. Oh, he gets the headshot.
Very, very awkward spray, but it works out regardless of Pulse. Link trying to find the wall bang, is putting those bullets very close, but it's not connecting just yet. An opening kill for Endpoint has come through. Russ, I thought for a second, yes, he may have choked out towards Ivy, but his pop dog control is perfect for Pulse, and Link is still trying to contest it. He's wasting ammo. Not something you have to worry about too much in Counter-Strike, but constantly on Pulse's position, he finally gives up the ghost as Vexed stack up the main T-side force, coming back in over to the Brown Halls. Looking like it might well be another play over to the B bomb site here for the T-side forces. But they'll take their sweet time with this one. The Molotov will force Pulse to fall back a little bit. Link still trying to get this kill off against him. If he got that, then maybe it might turn things around for Vex Gaming. One man on the B side defensive, now backed up by a second. This is where it's all going to come down to. Can these two anchor players hold on to Endpoint's chances here in the grand finals?
Mezzi has that incendiary grenade. They can try and opt to plant for heaven. Just play from that position, but they invest it early. They're going for the take. Cryptic goes for the face. He flicks off, gets the headshot taken down in a 1-for-1. Robin now moving around the side.
Nice.
Watch the bomb carrier, stops the plant with 10 seconds left on the clock. Vexed are pipped to the post yet again. 15-13. 15-12. That's the number that I can read.
It's a bit weird. The score bug doesn't always update on time, so I'm just right. You're forgiven. 15-12 though. Endpoint. Okay. Good kill on the bomb planter. That's really what kept things together for Endpoint. The fact that he went down with so low time on the clock means that Endpoint are going to stay alive for another round, trying to get us to overtime at this stage, John. The third tactical timeout taken by Vexed. Because they need it right now, I'd say.
15-12. This is a scoreline that no one would have expected coming out of the first half, but here we are. The comeback kings themselves, Endpoint still on their run to try and take it away from Vexed. The tournament favorites coming in from the upper bracket, but they're so close. One slip up is all it takes.
Exactly. That's the key thing as well. Like that's how down to the wire this is really getting. Any one lack of utility or weaponry or just a small mistake on anyone's part could end this whole thing off for Endpoint.
Or someone just pops off. Someone gets
Exactly.
3 kills in a crazy play. That's the kind of thing that can really screw Endpoint over here.
Speaking of which, Russ flashed out early on, takes that AWP shot to try and keep the T-side from aggressing too far forward here. Nice aggressive play again from Endpoint, trying to push that AWP up close as Pulse is here. Ready to chance pop dog. 2 players drop in. He gets himself out of dodge. Good play from him. Just keeping himself away as Rush strikes on Cray, kicking things off. Flashbang in for Bolt to take down Link. Tries to spray on towards Adam. He just about misses it out. Damage being done, but Russ is able to adjust here with the rest of the CT forces now focusing on the A-site defense. Endpoint again have come out with a 4 versus 3 in the initial defaults here. It's perfectly set up for the CT side to take.
They still have control of the B-bomb site as well. They've got their player playing all the way on the back, so they will know if they opt to go for a different push. He might just try and peek out towards the top, force some rotates, and maybe give the rest of his team the opportunity to push through. Because he's going to drop down, and that is force 1 rotate through, but Ivy is still under threat right now. He's trying to make those footsteps heard. Look for the trade. Watches out for Connector. Does get a little bit of a spray on, and in the meantime, look at where Vex Gaming have managed to get. They're all the way towards CT spawn. This could be relatively unexpected. The bomb plant not being there, that should be a giveaway.
But Jenko spotted them crossing. They can rotate back from the back lines. Robin will be pressured, as will Cryptix. He'll still get both the kills, though. All left to Adam, and Cryptix ends up with the 3K. Big plays from the big dog of the CT side, and we play on for yet another round. It was a good effort from Vex, but they gave up a little bit too much information. Again, they spotted them crossing over at A2. They knew the flank was coming in, so Cryptix could adjust, and they could get the crossfire set up. Now we're back to pistols and SMG for Cray. Endpoint rifles once again, looking like it might just be another anti-eco. Oh, well, anti-half-buy.
This is one hell of a run for Endpoint.
Oh, yeah.
They should be proud of themselves, even if it doesn't go their way here. The ability to come back like this, but fast for Vex Gaming. They're going on in, they're trying to get this bomb plant. The incendiary grenade will zone them away just that little bit. The first kill going through, looking for a second, but they trade it back. A long-range Tech 9.
Oh, they're getting the kills as well. Damage being done to the C-side forces. Genko will be able to trade it back to 3 versus 3. Russ is dealing with one more player harassing the A-bomb site. The bomb will go down. And look at where Eccles is. Spotted Pulse. The awkward timing. Eccles just gets away alive. And he will be able to get taken down. The next comes up with a Mac 10 kill. Meanwhile, it's one player dealt with over on the A-bomb site. He's distracting them. And Adam will finally fall. It's all left to Mezzy. 1 versus 2. And he'll get dealt with. Endpoint struggling to get their way back into this one. But they are kicking and screaming right to the 30th round on for overtime at this stage. This one just got real tense.
The full buy will be available. They got the plant, they got 3 frags, but it's gonna be a rifle to finish it off. What a way to go. Endpoint, this is the miracle run, but can they finish it off to bring us into overtime? Vexed Gaming, they're on the verge of victory. They've been there for a while though. They're on the precipice of a crushing defeat in this map as well.
But Endpoint as well. This map is all about staying alive in this series. If we do see Endpoint win, this will be on Mirage to close out the grand finals. But again, it all rests in this round. Vex just 1 away from victory. Endpoint 1 away from overtime. Again.
Nearly dropped one.
It's contested over towards Pop Dog and Ivy early on with the flashbangs. The Molotovs coming in from the Vex Gaming side, trying to force players off angle. They will be relatively successful with this. But no real kills or damage coming in from either side.
Nothing doing. No one wants to give anything away. It's such a crucial round. Endpoint can't afford to give any quarter, but Vex Gaming, they've been hammering at this door for ages, chipping away at it, but it's just not opening for them. Russ playing up and aggressive does leave him a bit vulnerable from A main, but the rest of his team should be able to cover that. Vexed are waiting for an aggressive push, but they're burning down the candle here. 44 seconds now. They need to commit, but it looks like they're going to be stacking up towards potentially.
It looks like a split play, I think. I'm not sure where they're at. Are they in T-Con or are they in Brown Halls? The 2 players over on that section of the map with the bomb. Well,
ooh, okay.
in from Link, he's spotted.
Nice
Russ with the orb shot. He's protected by 2 sides, and Genko gets himself 2 frags, traded back. Adam and Link get the man advantage for Vex. This could be it, but Cryptix is able to respond all the same. 2 versus 2 in 15 seconds. They're being held back. Cryptix, another good kill. He drops the bomb. That's massive. Adam was forced to get the bomb plant, but Robin's over at Ivy. He's forced on the kill. Adam's going to try and hunt for it. He will go for the plant. 1 versus 1. Cryptix to try and keep Endpoint alive in this one. Adam to get 1 good kill to close things out and be the champion of the IGF Masters.
Oh, he does it!
Got it! Vexed, the very last hurdle will be your champions of the IGF Masters CSGO for Insomnia at 65.
What a way to close it out. Beautiful CS being played there. Endpoint, what a run they had, but right at the end it was Vexed to take it home. Celebrations across the board. What a relief for them. They must have been absolutely sweating through those shirts right there. Look at that.
They can see that. They're just like completely, they don't even know how to react right now. They have just like had like a heart attack of a lifetime essentially. And the same thing for Endpoint as well. The last second comeback and they just couldn't quite go all the way. That 1v1, in the end, Adam had the information. He knew exactly where Cryptix was playing from, and all he had to do was just wait for that peak to come back to him, and then they got the victory. But my word, what a tense final moment to that matchup. It's an incredible victory for Vexed. Twice in a row, this organization will take an Insomnia trophy, and twice in a row, this lineup will take an Insomnia trophy as well, John.